a look inside the lavish homes of the world's richest CEOs. For decades, technology giants have been reshaping the world as we know it, creating new jobs and even new kinds of jobs in the process. And yet, these entrepreneurs don't seem to be doing much with their earnings. They still live in the same homes as other CEOs who aren't worth hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. We're here to change that with this video on lavish homes owned by the richest CEOs on earth. You might be surprised by which tech tycoons have splurged on their abodes and which ones haven't. We'll start with the world's richest CEO, the point being that I'm talking about the wealthy in general. Jeff Bezos has been CEO of Amazon since 1996 and is worth approximately $160 billion. dollars. He is the first person in history to hit the 12-digit mark in terms of net worth. With that statistic comes a lot of property. As a matter of fact, according to Land Report, Jeff Bezos is the 25th largest landowner in the United States, and he also owns the headquarters of his soon-to-be multi-billion-dollar company, which is located in Seattle. Though there is an untold number of 5 homes, one being the most recent addition to the luxurious real estate, one being in Washington, D.C., one's a textile museum with 27,000 square feet of space. This massive mansion has been undergoing a $12 million renovation, combining two separate mansions. The home is one of the many gorgeous residences in the famed Colorama neighborhood. The difference is that this one cost $23 million in cash to build. The renovations will place Bezos next door to Obamas and the Kushness. For now, Bezos lives in Seattle, but he also owns a house in Medina. A Beverly Hills home worth $25 million was also renovated for $28 million in Washington. In addition to owning 3 linked apartments above Central Park in New York City worth around $8 million, he owns about as much land in Texas as anyone else. He's no longer a CEO, but Bill Gates has been long regarded as one of the wealthiest individuals on the planet and a beloved person around the world. His house is no different. Just like in this video, Gates' colossal mansion resides in Medina, Washington. The mansion's cutting-edge technology has made it a worthy property of its tech mogul owner. The mansion is 66,000 square feet. The entrance took 7 years and $63 million to complete this masterpiece. In 1988, Bill bought the lot for $2 million. The house was currently under construction, and its worth was currently around $130 million. The state-of-the-art inside includes top-of-the-line sensor system technologies, which enable the guests to get lighting, room climate, and complete control of all the house features and appliances. This home has just 8 bedrooms, but can be used as a gathering place for a large group. The mansion boasts 25 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, and a dining room that can seat 200 people, as well as a heated 60-foot swimming pool with underwater music. Bill's amazing residence is just one of 3 notable properties he owns. If that wasn't enough, there's a massive trampoline room as well. This ranch of 228 acres was bought for about $18 million from fitness icon Jenny Craig, who is worth over $90 billion. With this ranch, Gates owns a home in Wellington, Florida that he purchased for $8.7 million. Along with this ranch, Gates owns a racetrack, guest house, office, veterinarian, and 5 barns. Usually, Gates' daughter Jennifer lives in the home, but that's just another option for the multi-billionaire. Third man on the list, Warren Buffett, has made a name for himself and made a lot of money by getting the most out of his investments. In fact, he earned the title of Oracle of Omaha by being so adept. Buffett purchased his 6,570 square foot Omaha house in 1958 for just $31,500, and he still lives there today. As Buffett is seen as modest, the house is not even among the most expensive on the block. A notable distinction considering he is worth just under $90 billion and third on the list of the world's wealthiest. It's just how Buffett rolls. He's currently selling a Laguna Beach home for $11 million. It wasn't a huge expenditure either. In 1971, that house cost him only $150,000. Buffett maintains a modest lifestyle, just minutes away from his office, that matches the modesty of his residence. Here are a few other keynotes, this belonging to successful technology business founders. Fourth on the list is another internet superstar, who happens to be one of the richest men in the world, Mark Zuckerberg. He and his wife Priscilla live in a house worth $7 million, 5,617 square feet, with wooden floors. This saltwater pool in the backyard would have a spacious dining room, sunny sunroom, 5 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms. The house was built in 1903. At first glance, you might begin to think that Zuckerberg is following in the footsteps of Buffett with his habit of generosity, but don't fret. Instead, this type of luxury features like artificial intelligence controlling the whole property can be found in Marvel comic books. Along with his house in Palo Alto, Mark has bought 30 million worth of property around his home just in case he decides he doesn't want neighbors in the future. He recently purchased an off-market property in 2013 for which he paid for $10 million. The 5,542 square foot property is located in Dolores Heights. During a later renovation of the house, he added a media room, an office, a mudroom, a laundry room, a wine room, and a bar. Facebook's boss also spent $100 million on two land parcels in Kauai, which included a new roof and landscaping. This property has a 2,500 square foot spread with ocean views and an organic farm. He plans to set up 700 acres of it for lavish family getaways. It is planned to construct a 2-bedroom residence as well as a 16-bay garage complex. The next billionaire CEO is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was one of the most influential leaders in the technological revolution at Apple. A 1930s Tudor-style home was built for him in Palo Alto. It sat on about half an acre and had 5,768 square feet. It includes 7 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. It was a country style very much in keeping with the rest of his neighborhood and didn't stand out as the lavish residence of a high-tech mogul. Next, Oprah Winfrey. Known as the most successful talk show host of all time and the CEO of Harpo Productions, Oprah lives an incredibly luxurious lifestyle. Winfrey bought her 23,000 square foot Monticello home for $50 million in 2001. The enormous home is located about 6 miles from downtown Santa Barbara. Oprah Winfrey purchased this 8,700 square foot home in Colorado for $14 million in 2014. In 2016, Oprah purchased a 23-acre horse farm estate for nearly $29 million at auction. In addition to the 163 acres she purchased, Oprah purchased 163 acres Mount Holy Akela. The house was listed for sale for about $32 million in 2016, so it's safe to say she spent a lot on the estate. Farmhouse with ocean views, chef kitchen, terrace, dining area for 6, and a wrap-around porch. Having become a billionaire, Oprah has amassed an incredible collection of million-dollar properties over the years. Elon Musk, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO, who is also the creator of PayPal, is not unknown to great amounts of real estate. He owns a combined $72 million in Los Angeles area homes. One of these houses was once owned by Gene Wilder, who purchased it for $6.75 million. Musk has turned it into a private school for his 6 children. He always ensures his home are filled with the most current or new technology from his work at Tesla and SpaceX. Musk recently spent $24.2 million to buy a new home in Los Angeles. His most recent home purchase is his 5th one in the same upscale neighborhood. Add in the $48 million he spent on the previous homes, and the total real estate holdings for the tech mogul comes to $72 million. The houses are all located close to each other in an area that has been labeled as pricey zip code for those in the Santa Monica foothills. Billionaire Larry Ellison, the CTO and not the CEO of Oracle, can't be left out. He lives in Woodside, California, in a palace modeled after 16th century Japanese emperors and is worth around $70 million. In fact, a 23-acre estate took 9 years to design and build, with construction being completed in 2004. Clearly, a fan of Japanese culture, Ellison also owns a historic garden villa in Kyoto, Japan, which was reportedly listed for $86 million, though the actual amount he paid is unknown. Along with the garden and the palace, He also teamed up with Robert De Niro's film producer to remodel the historic Casa Malibu into a high-end Japanese concept hotel. The Nobu Connection, it also has that famous Nobu sushi chain on board. He purchased the property for $20 million in 2007. All-inclusive rooms can now start at $1,100 per night. Besides his passion for Japan and real estate acquisitions from around the world, he owns a large number of properties in Malibu, worth millions of dollars as well. 10 of these properties are in the famous Carbon Beach. Ellison owns a number of other properties in California, including a racket club, which he acquired for just under $7 million. I cannot ignore the presence of Mukesh Ambani. He is the richest person in India and currently ranks 19 in the financial riches in the entire world. The owner of the most expensive home in the world has to be mentioned in this video.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.